Hey everyone, this is Carmen from CarmenMasterPure.com, and today I'm going to teach you how to do real estate copywriting. You're going to learn how to write property listings, headlines that get people clicking your listings, and how to write a really good agent bio that overall is going to get you more clients, get you more commissions, more sales. So to begin, there's over 5.6 billion homes that are going to be probably sold in the United States in 2019, aka there's a nice piece of that you can get. You can get a piece of that cake. And you gotta stand out. If there's a lot of houses being sold, that means there's a lot of agents selling them, and there's a lot of companies selling them. So you gotta stand out in some way, especially if you're in a big place, a big city. You gotta cut through the static, and one of the ways you can do that is with copywriting. You always have to remember that when it comes to competition, you can always beat them in either the product or in marketing. You can always outdo people with marketing. And I'm telling you right now, if you actually take the time to just optimize your copy for your listings and your bio, you're going to stand out so much because so many agents don't even have a bio. Like, I've actually checked out some local real estate agent listings or directories, and some of them have like no information about themselves, and they're just missing out on business. So just to begin the video, we're going to look at how to master the headline when you're writing your real estate ad. And so the goal of a headline is to do a few different things. One is to relate to the buyer, because there's different types of buyers. There's people that want, an expensive house. There's people that are budgeting, people that want a very aesthetic house, people that don't really care. It's going to draw them in to read the rest of the listing. So the headline is pretty much the most important piece of the copy, because it actually gets them going through the funnel. And a good headline is going to cut through the fuzz. You're going to be able to stand out among all the other boring listings that barely state anything. And so I just want to give you actually some examples on different kind of headlines. So there's price-based headlines. So this is obviously based on a house that has buyers that are very interested in the price. So an example would be price to sell fast. So this kind of promotes a bit of urgency because people are going to think that they're going to miss out on a good deal. And then the second one is make an offer. This is what we call a call to action. It's just telling the reader to do something, which is make an offer. It's actually surprisingly effective. And calls to action come in many different forms, but that's a really good one that's relevant to selling property. And the third one is incredible investment opportunities. So if you target investors or people that want to buy houses and property, turn them into rentals, that'd be a great thing to include into the headline, because then it's going to attract those kind of people. You're not going to get random people coming by that aren't really suited for what you're looking for. And then a fourth example would be priced below the appraisal amount. So once again, kind of showing that they're getting a good deal is going to get people clicking and looking at your ad. So now there's also a location-based headline. So obviously these would be for if you have maybe a house or a property that overlooks a really good view, or that's in a very specific spot. So the first example would be breathtaking view. So if it has a nice view to the city, mountains, whatever it might be, you'd want to include that because it's a great selling point. And then if you sell maybe like apartments, condos, something like that in the heart of the big city, you can say heart of the metropolis, because some people, even including myself, love the big city. That could be something they're looking for. Or the complete opposite, tucked away in private. That's for people that obviously want maybe something a bit more rural. Maybe they want just privacy. They don't want to be near the big city. So think about how you can kind of mix in your audience's interest and location into the headline. And then of course, as I said earlier, curb appeal, aesthetics. And so if you're selling like some very beautiful homes, you can say it should be on the cover of a magazine. And then before they've even looked at pictures, they're gonna have that idea of maybe like the fountain or the cobblestone, something really awesome. It looks like it's worth $1 million. And this kind of is double-sided because it speaks to the beauty of the house or the property, but also in a way it's kind of implying that it looks like it's worth $1 million, but they might get it for even cheaper. So they're getting a really good deal. And then the last one, your friends will be envious. The purchasing process is very emotional, and I wouldn't doubt that some people are buying houses with that in mind, making people envious. So you never know, that can really speak to people's innate primal needs, and that's what really copywriting does. And then amenities. So you might have property you're selling that's on the golf course. Live on the golf course. Maybe there's tennis courts, and you can say that there's you can mix that in. Say goodbye to your lawnmower. So if you're selling apartments, or maybe lawn maintenance is taken care of for a townhouse, you can say that. Close to all the essentials. If you're selling a property that's near grocery stores and the mall and things like that, obviously that's a big selling point because that's just convenience. Writing property description. So you've nailed the headline. That's pretty much the hardest part, or the most important part. And now the actual client, the potential customer, is reading your description. So this is how you can get it really good. But first I want to show you an example of a bad one. Sorry if you're selling this house and you're watching, but the description is pretty bad. So it's very short. One thing they did do right, I guess, in a way that's broken down in short sentences, so that's good, but at the same time, it's very vague. It doesn't paint a picture in your mind. There's no storytelling, no emotion behind it. It's just really boring in general, and you can't really feel excited reading this, and it kind of goes against one of the big copywriting principles, which is features and benefits. They're stating the features like, hey, it has a walkout basement, fully upgraded, but there's no benefits. There's no experience or emotion tied into it. So state the benefits, not just the features. And here's an example of a listing that did do that right. And so they have this nice big lot, and the description, if you read it there, the first thing it says is attention developers and homeowners. So it's targeting the right people right away. Rare opportunities. So it's kind of inciting that urgency, that scarcity to purchase this gorgeous landmark, large, expansive property. So it's saying there's obviously a lot of space, and it goes on to say it's zoned in 2 individual lots, and that it has a huge living space, endless potential due to its dual zoning. So it's stating that it's large, but it's also saying, hey, you can build more stuff on this. It also says that it's an entertainer's delight. It has all these different features. It's luxurious, but it's also good for a family. So always try to think, what are the features? Like, what's the factual information about the house? But then how can you tie that into more of an emotional experience and tell them what they're actually going to get out of it? So next up, very similar, is paint a picture in their mind of the property you're selling. So this is a great one. I really love this. And essentially, if you read the description here, open concept layout, cathedral ceilings, eating kitchen, breakfast bar, separate dining room to enjoy large family gatherings, master suite with a walk-in closet and ensuite, double garage with a mud room and a powder room. I don't even know what that is, and I'm ready to buy this place. And 600 square foot loft. You can use it as a man cave, another bedroom. And here at the end, I love this. The entire property is beautifully landscaped with various trees and perennials. The backyard will be your private oasis with a huge deck, pool, hot tub, 2 custom tiki huts, and it goes on there to state some more things. And just by reading that, it kind of just puts that picture in your mind. It's more just visual. It's way more exciting than that other boring one that had like 10 very short lines of text. So try to mix in some kind of really descriptive ways to describe the areas of the house so they can kind of see it in their head. And then lastly, tell a story. So I actually found this website, I think it was called Circa. Don't hold me on it, but essentially it's a website where you list like old houses and ones that are kind of like, they have heritage and history behind them. And this one in Massachusetts, essentially if you read the description, it says, if the walls could talk, they would tell you the famous morning of April 19th, 1775, when the Minutemen gathered here to muster before their history, making march to the Concord. It goes on to talk about the Fitch Tavern, and it's an exciting piece of history. So if there's some kind of story behind the property you're selling, you should probably mix it in. It makes it so much more interesting. It makes them emotionally involved in the property, and that can definitely get you potentially more sales, or people even just calling about the property to inquire about it. And then another thing you want to do, very easy, very quick, is use some power words. Free. There was actually a study where they took almost 400 MIT students. They offered them a discounted, I think it was Lindor or Lindt, like an expensive chocolate, and then they offered them a free Hershey's chocolate. So the Lindt is much better, but all of them, or a big majority, took the free one because it's free, even though it was lesser quality. So obviously with property, this might be like a free viewing, a free brochure. So if you can mix something free in there, definitely do it. Special. Is there anything special about the property? Maybe the materials that were used, the history behind it, like I just spoke about. Obviously safety and security is a big thing. Everyone wants to feel safe in their home. If there's a safe neighborhood, maybe there's schools nearby and parks, you want to talk about the security systems, the cameras, things of that nature. Definitely mix that in. And then new things are associated with quality and being modern. So if there's any kind of renovations, new floors, new ceilings, new lights, make sure to put that into your copy. Now let's move on to writing the agent bio. You've nailed your headline, got the description, the listings are good. Now you have to actually market yourself and stand out among agents. So I actually want to show you a couple examples, with the first principle being don't be afraid to brag. So this is actually a son and father agent here, and you can see that they say we're the #1 top producing realtors for resale homes in Niagara from 2014 to 2017. They also have some other achievements there, and you want that because it kind of acts as social proof. It makes people trust you more, shows that you know what you're doing and that you know your stuff, and that's big. People don't normally want to work with, people of lesser experience, right? Especially with something serious as buying property. So whatever kind of achievements, education, qualifications, you always want to mention that. It helps with people trusting you and your credibility. And then very similar, you want to tell a story about yourself. So if we actually go back to this father and son, it literally says that their family immigrated there in 1875. They're 4th and 5th generation. So it allows people to relate to them emotionally, connect to them. And people want to work with people. So when you can mix in some real story and personal elements, it just allows people to see that, kind of who you are and get an idea of who they're going to work with before they even contact you. And then lastly, you gotta talk about the obvious thing, with what's in it for them. So I found this nice little profile here from a realtor in Niagara, or a real estate agent rather. And I like that he said his goal was to create better lives for his clients and his team through real estate, whether it's creating generational wealth or just leadership opportunities. So that's really nice, and you try to mix that in to your description as well, your agent bio. Talk about how you're going to help people find great properties that their families are going to love, how they're going to make money from finding properties they can invest in. Just try to find a way to talk about what they're going to get out of it, because that's ultimately what a customer wants. So that sums it all up, guys. I actually wrote a blog post on this. I'll throw it in the description of the video. It kind of goes into a lot more detail, and this video sums it up. So if you want to learn more about writing real estate copy, go check out that link and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Ciao, guys.